Hi guys, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. In this video, we will get started with another important topic in Swift that is called as protocols. If you go to the About page of Swift and try to search about inheritance, you will not get anything about inheritance in the About page of Swift. However, if you try to find something about protocols, you will get that Swift considers itself as more of a protocol-oriented programming language. It doesn't consider itself as inheritance-based programming language. Of course, it supports object-oriented programming, inheritance, polymorphism, all those things are there. But in Swift, you will observe that it is always the protocols which rule the roost when it comes to the way you structure your code. So it is very important that we understand what are protocols and how they are used in Swift. So now coming back to protocols, you may get overwhelmed about this new term called as protocols. Well, let's get started with the very basic English meaning of what is a protocol. Protocol is nothing but a certain set of rules that you have to follow to do a particular task. It could be anything. If you want to drive, you have to have certain set of protocols. You should know how to switch the gear, you should know how to accelerate, which side of the road you have to go, depending upon which particular country you are living in. So there are certain set of rules to be followed. Those are the set of protocols that you have to follow to successfully drive on a road in a particular country. In the same way, if you want to play a guitar, there are certain set of rules. And in the same way, if you want to be a classical singer, once again, there are certain set of rules to be followed. So protocols are nothing but a certain set of rules that you have to adhere to say that, okay, he is a classical singer, he is a guitarist. The same concept is applied in programming as far as Swift is concerned. So from the programming point of view, what we are basically talking is you might be having a class called as person and you might be having a protocol. Protocol will have certain stored properties defined or even a certain set of methods which we can call them as rules, not implemented, just defined. To become a tennis player or to be considered as a tennis player, I am assuming that you should have won some Grand Slams. So it would be number of Grand Slams a tennis player has won. If a person class wants to be considered as a tennis player, he should basically adopt the tennis player protocol. What we will have to do is the person class should have to basically extend tennis player. The syntax pretty much looks similar to extending a class, the colon. You use a colon and then you write name of the protocol in front of the class. And that is how you basically adopt a protocol. But you have not yet conformed to the protocol. To conform to that particular protocol, you have to now define value Grand Slams won inside the person class. And when you do that, you basically conform to a protocol. Well, you have to understand the fact that when we are talking about protocols, most of the times there would be already a certain set of protocols defined in the code. You have to basically get started by conforming and adopting to a protocol. You very rarely write or define your own protocol. Of course, sometimes you have to do that, but instead of trying to understand protocols by writing a protocol, we will try to understand protocols by actually adopting a protocol and conforming to a protocol. So to get started with, let's have a look at one of the very commonly used protocols in Swift, custom string convertible. As per the documentation, you have to define a variable called as description and it is a string type. It is not even telling us what should be the value of that particular description variable. So if at all we want to adopt this particular protocol called as custom string convertible, we have to define the description variable inside whatever the class that we already might be having. So let's go to Xcode. So as of now, we have a class called as book and they have certain stored properties, and then I have some initializers, and I have also a function called as display book info. And as you can see here, I have a variable sample book with some predefined values. If I print sample book, the output that you are looking is just a normal Swift object getting printed. But this is of not much help for us. It would have been better if we had got some meaningful information when we try to print the sample book instance. Well, to do that, we can get started with the implementation of custom string convertible. So as you can see here, I am basically adopting custom string convertible. But as you can see here, right now we are getting a compilation error saying that the book does not conform to the protocol. Well, to conform to the protocol, I have to define the description which is of type string. I can just write something here, say testing, and now it is giving me an output as string. But this is not the actual output we want. So what we can do is we can use computed properties concept. So we want to keep it as a get only property. Let me write get block of the code here and return whatever that we were returning in the display book info. With this implementation, now you will observe that with print sample book, I am actually getting a more useful information. And this is how you typically adopt and conform to a protocol. With this, we don't need display book info method at all. And this is the very basic gist of how protocols work in Swift. Stay tuned for the next video. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.